What is up, my pumpkin munchkins? We're back with another backtesting video. I am doing this early morning because markets are closed and I'm locked in to achieve my dreams. That was fucking corny. Anyways, I gotta do this early because I am actually planning on going to class in around 1 hour. So we're gonna get this backtesting in. I realized my P&L was not showing prior. Now it is. You can see my amazing $1,000 in a month, bro. I'm escaping the matrix doing that. Okay, also, let's turn this OBS thing off. I noticed that I am getting a lot of break-even trades here. I think we discussed this prior, but it just kind of looks like we're in a break-even fucking just win, loss, break even, win, break even, win, break even. Honestly, you can say that I'm protecting my position, but a lot of these were fucking bangers. So I'm gonna try to work on going break even going forward. Anyway, that's enough yap. Let's get right into a video here. I think this was the last trade, but let's get it moving. We have Trump speaking at 4:30. It is technically a no news Monday. Probably gonna be a bit slower. Also, PA has been kind of doo-doo. In 2025. But coming out with positive P&L, all that means is give it one more year and man, I'm gonna be in a Lamborghini. By the way, guys, when I say anything corny, that is me just being corny. I don't actually believe anything I'm saying, except for me being successful. I do believe in that. Okay, let's get into it. On the daily time frame, we are reacting from this sweep of liquidity right here. This is a really odd candle. We're reacting from this sweep of sell side, this intermediate 4-hour low inside of this 4-hour gap that sponsored this gigantic move upwards, filling in this imbalance. What I can assume is we can either continue to push higher, filling in likely this last 15-minute draw on liquidity inside this gap, or we would stop filling this imbalance, assuming that we've rebalanced this range and then continue lower to probably take out some of this sell side right here. My conditions would be if we want to continue bullish, we come in, see if there's any imbalances I can go for here. There is no RE fair value gap that I'd be interested in longs from. There are some 15 minutes though that we can possibly react from. It looks like we're already making a rebalance to push higher, but in the scenario that I go bearish, I would want to see a lot of these gaps get inversed first, and then that could warrant a move higher. I am going to mark out this first fair value gap to see if we can get some sort of trade out of it. Okay, let's go into it. So we are respecting F5. This would be the point that I would want to take along from, but nothing that I'm really interested in. Generated equal 1-minute lows. That is quite interesting. I am just going to mark this one out actually, see if we get a resweep for a potential long or this intermediate 15-minute high. Did get a resweep of this low, but we're just generating SMTs. This is honestly a solid. I think it's a pretty solid, to be honest. But I don't like how we generate so many equal lows here. 5-minute equal lows, and it kind of just looks like ES wants to take out this low resistance, so this could play out. Looks like it played out to that 1 minute internal high, rebalancing this 5 minute once again. We are looking a bit um diverged here. I don't want to take a trade. Got a resweep of this 5 minute high. Yeah, ES is just currently taking out all these sell side draws, and we do have solid draws below. I did want to see us invert some sort of gap, and even now, like I don't want to really take a 5 minute short position, considering we're still inside this 30-minute gap. But I can validate a short from here, because on ES it just looks like we're dumping, so like it wouldn't even be that bad of an idea. Take a 30-second inversion from here as well. I know there's a lot of 30 seconds. We swept this 5 minute high inside its gap. Yes, looks like it's dumping a lot. And we generate swing lows for us to take out. And we have equal. This is honestly, I don't even think this is a bad trade, thinking about it. We're respecting this 5 minute right here. Swapped out this liquidity, 30-minute inversion, strong 30-minute inversion. Break even will be right here. Most likely, if I do take this trade, resweep inside of the most premium part for shorts. ES looks like it's just dumping to Glitteria, and then we have, I guess, SMT. Did we just take out? Okay, honestly, the only reason I'm not gonna take this is because it does look like we just swept out probably equilibrium of the range, and then we're also rebouncing to this hourly. So this could cause a move higher, such as that. Um, Now resweep of this external 15-minute high. We are edging this 15-minute inside of a 30-minute unmitigated gap here. Sweep of my final bullish draw liquidity, which is quite annoying. Yes. Honestly, I just would not trade these conditions because yes is all the way down here. Now this is all the way up here. Um, Hard time for me to look really bullish still, and this move right here could be sponsoring move higher, perhaps. But we don't really have any solid draws beside previous day. No, nothing really that I would be interested in taking. Yes, looks like it's still respecting bearish price action. We still have all these draws on liquidity. I honestly might just wait till 10. Like, I feel like I am going to be missing out on a trade, but I just want to wait for more confirmation prior to taking my entry. This right here, major SMT bearish. I do want to see more alignment between the indexes first. We have no more draws. Like, this is a very high resistance um point of liquidity. I have to wait for a 2-minute inversion too. 10 a.m. is about to open. 10 a.m. opens now. Sweep set high. Resweep of that high. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that we clearly want to be actually 10 a.m. manipulates this 1 minute shitty ass low, pushes higher. My drawn liquidity would probably be this previous day high as of now. We did rebalance this range on ES, which I really like. It was just hard to tell based off the fact that we had higher time frame SMT. What I would like to see now is we did manipulate into this 15-minute on the NAS, which sponsored this move higher. I would want to see maybe a retracement into potentially this 15-minute gap would generate liquidity leading up to this previous day high. We do have this 15-minute tap that is way too premium for me to take anything, to be honest. And it's now 11. I do want to see if something actually plays out. Right here, if this happened before 11, this happened before 11, 10:15 SMT on this internal, it'd be this one technically, and then I would want to see an inversion. That would be the inversion. Damn, it kind of looks like poo-poo. Honestly, what I can see, this right here would be the inversion I would have to take besides that 30-second. Or I would take this 30-second right here. And then we're gonna paper, oh no, what is it called? Tape read this trade. I'm not gonna actually take this because it is 11:24. I just do want to see. My little brother has been telling me that we could trade 11 p.m. or 11 a.m., but I just want to stick with my rules for now to see if this would play out. That'd be my break even, and then I'd get resweep, and then maybe push higher. Okay, no. And then Loki, this is due to price action. Anyways, next day. On the higher time frame, it looks like we want to rebalance this range and then continue lower. We are continuously respecting bearish price action as of now, and it kind of looks like ES already took out the objective. We still do have this candle just looks so fucking odd. Holy shit. I guess we still have, why is that shit so, we still do have this unmitigated hourly gap that we may want to retrace into prior to pushing higher. But all these generated liquidity points for me are now invalid to trade to just because we did trade into them on ES. That being said, like I said, if we do continue to show bearish price action here, I could maybe take a trade lower because we still do have an unfilled hourly that we just edged on ES. So I could see us pushing lower, and then we also still have previous day low. This kind of looks so beautiful. Okay, get right into the price action. I would say rebalance perhaps here, or the first 15-minute gap tap, and then a resweep, and then an entry going short. Okay, that is the more premium gap. Sweeping this 5-minute. Looks like, what are we doing here? We have the London above. London above inside of this hourly gap. We also have Asia. These are pretty good draws right here that I would like to trade to. if given an opportunity to trade to them. Looks like we might just sweep them out. London has been swept. It's an intermediate high inside of an hourly gap. Holy shit. Let's just erase this one. I do want to keep my ship and more clean too. We still have a lot of bullish draws as well, but this could be just me continuing this bearish momentum. I would love to take a mech from here. It doesn't look like we are, just because we did mitigate that 5. On the 15-minute, we have now inversed all these gaps on the 15-minute. I did not look at news. We have 10 a.m. some bumberaz ass news. Still have a lot of draws higher. I did want to see a bigger retracement. This is kind of looks like a poo-poo ass retracement. 30-minute and 30-second inversion could work here. Generating. Perhaps. Okay, I guess it did work, but I still don't really like it that much. Look at our second draw on liquidity. We still have Asia to go for. I would want to mark this one. I feel like if we're gonna go for whatever fuck that is, we would probably go for that draw as well. It looks like we're just overall bullish. So I am gonna flip my bias here, hoping we get tapped in here though. 10 a.m. If 10 a.m. If we open up this 15-minute, manipulate into it at 10 a.m. I feel like this would be a perfect long towards Asia session highs. We did tap into this unmitigated 4 though. It's actually really good that I check that. So I do want to see what happens here. 10 a.m. is about to open. Probably just gonna wait for 10 a.m. We are accumulating right here. 10 a.m. I forgot about news. Generates a news wick. Edges that high. We have so many random lines here. Okay, I'm just gonna keep in mind that we're inside that 4 hour. Looks like we might manipulate into that 15-minute huge ass SMT. Drawn liquidity higher would be this data news candle. SMT inside the 15-minute gap, pushing us higher. Highest time frame inversion would be this 1 minute, which is in a really awkward position. Also take this 30-second. Okay, so I'm debating whether I take this 30-second. It closed really strong above this. Or do I wait for this 1 minute inversion, which is the highest time frame inversion, and then this 1 minute inversion would be the manipulation leg that has this SMT on the data news candle. I am just gonna wait for this. We got that inversion, but we generate not really. Got the 1 minute inversion here. We'd be entering right here. Stops below this. Why do we look like poo-poo though? I don't really know. If I enter that 30-second, my break even would be at this 1 minute, and then I guess because I entered here, it would already got slapped up. I do want to take this though. Um, so like I said, um, based off price action right now, we do have this higher time frame SMT, but based off how 10 a.m. opened here, um, the news candle. So I am just trading drawn liquidity being news candle here. And the reason behind this is yes, we are inside a 4 hour. I need to restart this. Kidoki. We are inside a 4 hour, but we do also have this higher time frame bullish SMT, which could be sponsoring this move higher past this 4 hour. On the higher time frame, we just inversed a bunch of these 15-minute gaps, and we did take our last drawn liquidity higher, but we still also have previous day highs and now data highs. And this, I guess you can call this New York opening gap. I didn't notice this shit. I don't know what this is. New York opening gap, which is pretty solid drawn liquidity here with data news candle. 10 a.m. we are expecting a 15-minute continuing bullish order flow on ES. We have a internal SMT inside of that gap, so I am pretty confident in this trade. Break even point. Now I am going for a 1-to-1 here. Okay, that's TP. Bangers. This just looked really sus to be honest, just because of this 1 minute inversion. We inverse it really strongly, but like on the 30-second, it looks like we're generating low resistance. I guess this is really good that we made this 5-minute gap to push us higher here. But yeah, other than that, I think it was a pretty solid trade. And then I just want to see where would this go. Did we want to continue past this little gap thing? Damn. Do we want to get previous day highs? I don't really know. Honestly, I do just want to see this. Yeah, we just want to fucking consolidate probably till lunch session. Rebalancing. Damn, price action is kind of went to shit. It looks like we're just rebalancing this range. I'm assuming to push us higher towards previous day high. Oh yeah, we took, okay, so our objective was previous day high. I'm happy that my drawn liquidity was right. And I guess, honestly, I like that trade. I really do. S&T, that just looked like a banger trade. I'm looking to pause this real quick. I'll be back after I take a poo poo. 24 minutes already. What's up, guys? I'm back from taking my shit. Also, ate some pineapples, frozen pineapples and shit, because I was looking getting a bit sneaky. Got the bev. Um, time to start this date. CPI. And bro, what is this odd ass time? Okay, so CPI candle, what did it really do? Swept out London and Asia, left previous day high, displaced through all of these bullish gaps, and now we are pretty close to whatever the fuck this is. Some like random ass low. Now, these type of days are kind of hard to maneuver. What I can perhaps see is we already swept out our data low candle. If we continuously manipulate higher into this big ass gap, and then make a move lower towards this random low, that could be a solid draw if we generate liquidity. Make sure this is recording. Yeah. Okie dokie. In terms of bullish runs, this right here is humongous. I would want this to get inverse. I did hear that you don't really have to treat this as a rejection block, but I don't know about that one. We'll go about this price action. I was about to skip 30 minutes. That would have been bad. Okay, so far nothing really interesting is happening. It kind of looks like we just want to keep going higher here. Yeah. EQ of that. Realistically, like, obviously there's fucking inversion, but like I just wouldn't be able to take this random inversion out of this big ass gap. Um, we didn't really like right now. I guess we re-manipulated these 1 minute highs, and then we'll probably get a move lower. I'd be more interested in seeing if 10 a.m. manipulates into this gap right here. This generated, or if we open up this gap, pushing us higher towards our data high candle, because it does look like we just want to push higher, but we just tapped into EQ perfectly, and we're now rejecting off of it. 10 a.m. manipulates lower. Okay, so we tapped EQ of this big ass gap. 10 a.m. manipulates inside of this 15. You still have these 5 minute um this is not an SMT ski. This is low-key just really hard to trade because like we don't really have a solid draw on liquidity, and in my eyes what this looks like is we rebalance this to the fucking tick. We then at 10 a.m. manipulate it into this 15. Um and then our draw on liquidity would be data high candle, but just seeing this reaction is kind of making me have second thoughts. We do have this 2 minute inversion right here. If we generate low resistance liquidity leading up to something, I would be more okay with taking this, but just because we are just going, I think this is like not too bad of a mech model. Um, but I'm just not gonna take it, to be honest. I'm not even mad that I didn't take that. I just don't really like the fact that we reacted off that CE perfectly, and then um yeah, honestly that's probably my only reason. Same ordeal, kind of so it looks like we're continuously just rebalancing, going higher, rebalancing, going higher. We are inside this 15-minute. I just really wish we generated. Is this an SMT? This is an SMT inside of this 15-minute gap. We can honestly, okay. Um, at a high candle above, solid 1-minute inversion. This is the highest time frame of the leg. SMT. This is technically the 15-minute PL3 candle leading up to this. And then on, yes, it kind of looks like we generated better liquidity right here, so it kind of makes me more hopeful. Um, I think I'm gonna take this. This could be a low-key pattern trade, but my ideology behind this is that um, I faded this because I thought that we are gonna respect the CE of this 15-minute gap, or what is this, an hourly gap? Okay, 30-minute gap. But then it kind of just looks like we are trying to make our way through this gap slowly but surely. And then with this SMT inside of this 15-minute gap, I do see us pushing at least towards our break-even point. And then my TP will just be either this point right here, continuing the trend higher, um, and then eventually towards our M drawn liquidity, which I do believe is going to be data high. Are we gonna go for data high in this move? Probably not, just because it is now 10:50, but I do see us playing at least to that high because there is a SMT. It does look like we're just making our way higher. Is this too premium of a trade? I don't really think so. I think that this manipulation lower was enough to push us sufficiently higher. So yeah, this is my reasoning for that trade. Bangers. Let's take this. That is my break even. Let's see, what would I get holding to this point? 1.8. It is almost 11. I'm just gonna mark that out. Okay, that's my break even point. Was there like a SMT ski? There was. Okay, hindsight, maybe it was too premium of a gap. And also, like, honestly, from now on, I'm gonna fade maybe these entire fucking days. Like, unless we are just trading inside this block, which is really hard to trade. The only valid trade I would see is probably actually no, I don't really consider any of these valid. Maybe this mech short from the CE, like I don't really trade bubbles, um, to that extent. But yeah, honestly, I feel like this is a not, in hindsight, bad trade. We don't have lowers in liquidity leading up to this high. I feel like that would have made it a better draw on liquidity, considering the fact that we are from this point like 134 points away. Are we realistically going to trade to this gap right now? Not really. This kind of proves that this gap right here was too premium, even though it was a 15-minute. It was likely too premium. Second. Too premium, we tapped into this gap, and then now we're pushing higher towards our data high candle, which we do eventually make it to it, but not in the time frame that I was trading. And then this trade would just be invalid for me to wait for. Okay, next day. This PA is kind of still dookie, but I think a bit better than the previous days. Um, 4 hour we inverse this gap, then swept out this low inside of this hourly gap, but technically we inverse that gap and see if there's like I think I'm gonna have to play more internal. It kind of looks like we swept out these lows, not in any gap that these lows inside of a 15-minute gap, and then it looks like we inverse this hourly gap and we have Asia above. I can see us playing short term more bullish. Um, more bullish here, except, and then we also displaced the previous day high, even though there's a S&T here. Looks like we probably just want to push higher. We have this big ass sweep of liquidity, rebounds this range right here, and then it looks like we want to make our way higher, maybe towards these Friday highs. These equal highs. Nope. Um, am I gonna be targeting this? No. My drawn liquidity would just be Asia, but I think short-term bullish isn't that bad of an idea. But at the same time, we also are respecting this discounted, this premium hourly gap. And then we do have 8:30 news here that good, good drawn liquidity for our bullish move. I would want to see us maybe trade into this 15-minute in order to sponsor move higher. Yes, sir. We also did technically sweep out our data low candle, but recently I've been using this 5-minute as a good drawn liquidity if like the 5-minute data candle is still available. So okay, we did in fact trade into our data high candle, which is quite unfortunate. Does look like now we have our draw on liquidity swept out. Not inside a key level I would want to take a short from. To be honest, I guess we are inside of this hourly. If you, yeah, honestly, we are inside this hourly, but then again, have to wait anyways. And then ES just fucking dumping to a draw most likely. Nothing to really take longs from. I'll rebalance this 15-minute. This is just a fucking humongous range too. I don't know why ES is more than half my fucking screen. Um, Okie dokie. Neglected that SMT right there. Looks like we're edging. We edged this hourly low. I do see more bullish runs here. Retracing inside this 5-minute. So we respected this 15, then created this 5. Um, Bro, that's so fucking annoying. Created this 5-minute. That would be, this right here would be the highest time frame inversion, and I skipped so far ahead. Um, but this is just so many gaps to even like think about taking along. I know that technically I would 5-minute continuation move to this hourly high. I think it's pretty valid. Um, I just don't like how we like left this gap right here. Yeah, honestly, that was pretty solid. Um, I think that would have been pretty clean, to be honest. I just 15-minute leading up to 5-minute leading to this hourly draw liquidity. Um, which isn't even that bad of a trade. Mac model perhaps, leading up this 5. Also, yeah, okay, so we have, okay, this could be a potential Mac. I do see this playing out as a Mac model. Okay, well, we just tapped into our fucking 5 minutes, so didn't really work out in our favor, unfortunately. And then you would also have to wait for this to close too. Um, do we have any more draws higher? We have these highs that are, I don't know why it's not working, 106 points away. We do really look fucking bullish. Respected this 4 hour pushing higher. I feel like I overcomplicated my analysis today. Except I was bullish. 15-minute leading up to 5, leading up to this hourly. That was low-key a gas trade. Let's see what we can do here. I feel like we might just not get a trade here. Even if I want to take a mech from here, it's not really. This honestly is a pretty nice level. It's already been mitigated so many times, so. And then oh, that's that day. um, Friday. We are looking at Friday. So basically we have one win, I think one break even, and then one faded trade that I should have never faded. But that was also obviously hindsight. Okay, now it looks like we just swept out these daily highs right here, and it kind of looks like we just want to displace higher. We are playing near all-time highs as well. And ES is right beside this high on the daily time frame. I do see us pushing higher. We got a remanipulation. We just respected this 4 hour as well. Higher time frame SMT. No, sorry. No, not an SMT. Thought it was an SMT. Regardless, swept this hourly low, swept out these 15-minute lows. We are now inside of this final gap, inverse this hourly gap as well. Respecting this 15-minute, we have 8:30 news that we can potentially target. 8:30 news has been swept higher. Potentially what we can see here is a retrace into this 15-minute in order to push us higher towards London session highs. I think we didn't generate equal highs, but almost. We still do have this as a draw on liquidity. So could I trade into this? Maybe if like we resweep this high inside of this unmitigated 15-minute, I could see us maybe going lower. But I don't think we're gonna get an entry for that. Unless, holy shit. Yeah, I would not take that shit, to be honest. I think we did tap into this resweep. Higher time for MSMT. Sorry. Um, yeah. I'm more bullish. Retap, resleep of this 5-minute. Can we please not take out our draws? Wow, we look like poo poo. ES is kind of just like doing its own thing right now. Nasdaq. Hey, yo. Looks like poo, bro. Okay, 10 a.m. is about to open. Hopefully 10 a.m. does some 10 a.m. opens lower. We genuinely just look like poo, man. That's unreal. What are we going for? We just swept out London. We still have these highs that we edged, but realistically, I would have to wait for a resweep of something. I don't know if I'm gonna get that. Please? Am I marrying my bias? Perhaps. Okay, well, we swept London inside of this 15-minute. We inversed that 15 minutes, so I can't even consider that a level. Inside the 30-minute. There's so many fucking lines on my screen. Inverse that, and then inverse the 5. Maybe a pop continuation. I'm still looking for longs, honestly, because we did edge this high. It looks like we are playing all-time highs as well. Almost all-time highs. We still have this high on ES that we are really close to. relatively close to. And higher time frame still bullish. We still have these draws to make us go higher as well. Did we have an SMT or any gap that we can play off of here? Not really. We're like inside this 5. If we had this SMT, I would consider taking a long because it's inside a 5-minute. Okay, well now I said that I would consider taking it, so fuck me, I guess. Um, doesn't even look like we're gonna get that inversion. Did we manipulate into a hard gap on EX? We have this unmitigated hourly, and we're right beside. Oh, we did. Okay. This is a SMT. I'm still bullish. We have draws above. We also have this unmitigated 5. I could be taking a potential mech long. The gap that I would want to see get inversed is this small 1-minute command price action. It doesn't look too dandy here. That would be the inversion that I'll have to take in order to push us higher. What can I say from this? Key level wise, we're inside this 5, which was technically sponsored by this 15. We have a 5 above, so this could be a potential mech. I am still bullish on the higher time frame. We do look like shit, but it looks like we kind of just generated liquidity. I guess ES kind of looks better. SMT inside of this. $45-minute. Am I gonna take a 45-minute? This SMT though for me is like pretty convincing because this SMT is our intermediate low inside of a higher time frame gap. So I do see this playing out towards like the only thing that I just don't like is the fact that this is a 5-minute as a key level, whereas we did just sweep out a bunch of liquidity, but we did leave this 5-minute. So it kind of looks like if you guys use market maker buy models and shit, it kind of does look like we are in a market maker buy model. Rebalance this bummy ass range in order to push us to our final drawn liquidity. So I am going to take this. Pretty strong close as well above that. Okay. Break even there. I would have to break even just because there is that 5-minute there. I want to see what would be our 1-to-1. Okay, wait, I'm not holding till this external draw. I'd probably just hold for this right here. To be honest, we're 1.18. Okay. Um, I like that to be honest. Could I have held for this right here? If my little brother watches this, he would call me a bum because I didn't hold for this. But yeah, I'm hoping. Honestly, I'm just gonna re-explain why I decided to take this hard time frame. We're clearly bullish. Yes, we did take out all my session draws, but we still have this very obvious 15-minute draw. In terms of our key levels, we are inside of this 5-minute, which is sponsored by this 15-minute. I would have rather us taken a long from this 15-minute, but the reason why I was okay with taking this long was because we did sweep out this point, which is technically our low, this 5-minute low inside of this gap, in order to push us higher. And then this would have been the manipulation leg that caused that SMT. So then you take this as the highest time frame inversion, targeting a mech, technically a mech model trade. This would be our break-even point. And then you could have also, actually, no, I was gonna say you could have waited for, no, actually, I think you could have waited for this 5-minute to close as well, which I think would have been pretty valid as well. Your RR would be kind of dookie. This trade though, I'm gonna have to review it more a little better, because this right here being the manipulation leg, I don't know. This one's kind of looks, it looks kind of sus here. Anyways, that is the final day of the week. Recap of the day or the week. We are looking like this. Once again, I think this day should have been a fucking W. Didn't take that trade. Break even here was solid. And then this is kind of what we're looking like so far in the year. I think this was extended a bit too far, but that is the final. I might do another backtesting session later today, so stay tuned. Okay, guys. Sayonara.